Hello and welcome to Popcorn and Plot. Hello and welcome to Plot Holes.
Yeah.
Oh, burying the lead.
Do it.
Who knows if you
Right.
like this movie or not?
Bury
You'll
it.
find out
Why
by
fight it?
listening.
Do it.
I mean, I used popcorn in this movie. I just threw it at the screen.
Great, fair enough. We watched the 2024. Fuck me, like Marky
Mike
Mark,
Coulter.
Mike Coulter. I guess the Mike Coulter
Mike
Yeah.
Coulter vehicle.
vehicle. The Union, Netflix's answer to
Villainy.
what was that one we watched with The Rock and
Red
Well,
Notice.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Red.
It was also
It was
Netflix.
he was
Netflix's answer to itself.
Oh, that tracks.
Yeah. Hey, we watched The Union. Let's just get into it, right? Oh, no, I have to introduce everybody. The formalities must be observed.
Yes.
With us, as always, Chris,
Sup, y'all? We gonna get into this. Promise.
Luciano,
Yeah, hello. I'm still picking popcorn from my desk.
and special guest star for the month of August and maybe a bit of September, other Matt, or I don't know, we had a name for you. I
Uomo
forgot it.
There
Pipistrello.
was other Chris a long time
It's,
ago.
Other
it's
Chris.
unnecessary. It's all good.
Yeah, he's not Italian Batman. Let's be positive. That's what we do here. We start positive. Luciano, what did you like about the Union?
No,
Do you want me to come back to you? Or?
no. I haven't. No, it's that the fight scene when Mike finally gets the device and he's running away from the Russians, I guess, and he gets the leaving shit out of him kicked by that agent, the female agent, and Halle Berry comes in and fights her, fucking suplexes her like a boss, and they show her like the way that she like pile drives the woman into the ground was very satisfying. I really enjoyed it.
Suplex.
Yeah.
Yep. Straight out of the WWF.
Yeah, that was my favorite thing in this movie, and that's very deep. But we'll leave it for later.
We're just asking about fun things you like.
Yeah, no.
You don't
Keep being
have
positive.
to. Yeah,
Keep
it
being
positive.
light. Yeah.
Other Matt, what did you like?
I liked the party scene when Mike calls his friends, and the one guy is just mooning everybody, and they're just having a great time. I liked that. And
your pants
incidentally, the answer to the question that this movie posed is how many fingers? Right now, it's how many fingers can you fit in your asshole? I'm up to 8 as we're speaking.
Great.
Eight from one hand.
Working towards 10.
Are they all your fingers?
No.
Mm.
No.
No, for
I have to have one.
No further
No further
questions, Your
questions.
Honor.
no, thank you.
Gotta have a
defense,
hand
the
on
prosecution.
the wheel.
Yeah,
The prosecution rests.
Chris, fun? Yes.
Fun. Mike Coulter, to be honest. It was fun seeing him. I miss him as Luke Cage, to be honest, but it was great to see him doing his thing. And, I was rooting for him a little bit. Like, even in like, was it Etheria? Towards the end?
Etria or something like that? Yeah.
Itria or something.
Yeah.
Not Eritrea, but yeah. Like, the foot chase begins, and then Roxanne's trying to chase him down. They're on what looks like a dock, but then the scene kind of changed, and then he like managed to get away from her on foot, and then he's just like waving bye-bye, and I was like, good, dude. Go on and get out. Go on and try again. Go on and try it again, and see what you can do next time. But then he like went back for the suitcase, and that was okay too. And like car chase scene, okay, so all right. And that BMW wouldn't fucking quit. It wouldn't quit. Anyways, that's why I rest my case.
Great. Those are all things you could have enjoyed. You're correct. For me, I really enjoyed how they cast so many actors who just played themselves, regardless of what was happening in the movie. J.K. Simmons, just being J.K. Simmons. Maybe a little John Jonah Jameson, maybe, I don't know. Marky Mark, famously just plays himself. I
Berry.
gotta say, Jackie Earle Haley kind of just mailed it in, but
Yeah.
they all had a good time
Played,
being
they
themselves.
played themselves
Yeah,
already.
they played it. They did a great job
themselves.
playing themselves, and I really
played
appreciated that they took that angle to this movie. So it was fun to see them just be themselves. They almost had chemistry for a little bit, which was surprising. And then the rest of the movie happened. Listen, it's a rare treat when we change the format of our show. Sometimes a movie is so good that we can't find plot holes, and sometimes a movie has 6 plot holes we have to talk about. And so,
Sometimes the plot holes are so bad we can't find a movie.
well, yes. And so, in order to do our job properly, we're going to cover the plot holes as is in the title. We need to leave more space for the plot holes. So this is my quick way of saying that's the end of movie talk, and we're going to talk about the plot holes.
Yep.
That
Yep.
sounds about right.
Buckle up.
Strap in and strap on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get them.
Either
Let's
or,
get 'em.
both. So let's start. I don't know. Let's start with the union, the company, the union, the intelligence agency, the union,
The one that names the movie?
the one that names the movie.
Right.
We're not going to talk about. We can talk about it. We're not going to talk about how annoying it is to find out that the union is actually just a union. That's not here. That's just maybe that's the second plot hole. The first plot hole is really the union as an intelligence agency really doesn't seem to understand how to operate as an intelligence agency or what intelligence agencies do for the most
Right.
part.
They're low on the intelligence
Yeah.
in this one.
Yeah, because right at the beginning of the movie, right, the opening scene, they are retrieving a rogue CIA agent and this list of all the agents in the entire world that the CIA has compiled.
All of every man and woman who has ever served a Western aligned country somehow.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've created this list for reasons. And they go into this hotel and extract him. And at no point is there any sneaking, hiding. They just run through lobbies with guns, shooting at people,
They
Lights
they
on.
walk
lights
the
on,
guy out
faces wide
fairness,
open.
like from the out of the front door of the fucking hotel.
In fairness, they started in costume and then stripped naked in the elevator because they were like, "What the fuck are we doing? Why are we not being ourselves?" Then they just decided to just
I forgot about that
ditch all
scene.
pretense. Yeah,
They were living their truth.
yeah.
So, I mean, that's the start of it, right? They don't know. I mean, what other things did you guys see where they just forgot intelligence?
Oh, shall we go in chronological order?
Why not?
How
Let's.
they clearly get ambushed, right?
Yep.
And then they just run around getting shot and not doing a single goddamn thing about it.
In fairness, though, that was the team lead telling them that she didn't want to leave them out in the open and that they should stay out in the open.
Yeah, don't stay out
Which
in the
was
open.
kind of where
Just
they were.
walk through the streets without taking cover and stop at a bridge.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yes,
That's,
and she did. Roxanne was like, "Don't move. I can get you ground support in 5 minutes." And Faraday was like, "Nah, we can get to the bridge in 3.
Yeah.
So we can die faster than you can help us."
I'm sorry.
but at the same time, there was already a sniper that had already killed someone. So the sniper has you in their sights. So we're gonna just stand in the center and wait.
We're
for
just gonna
people.
walk.
That seems bad.
We're gonna continue our route, our extraction route, regardless
in the
of
kill
being
box.
exactly, regardless of being in a kill box. Listen, we have a plan. It's a shitty plan, but we're gonna follow it.
No, the plan is excellent. They had a backup extraction spot. Now, just because the backup extraction spot was wide open on a bridge,
Yeah.
and the thing about this is the premise is bad, but what was the backup extraction plan? There was no boat, no car.
They were waiting for the boat.
But
Was there?
okay, but if he got there in 3 minutes, when was the boat arriving?
In
5 minutes?
Yeah. It felt like it was funny because in hindsight, Roxanne says, "I can get your ground support in 5 minutes." And and Mike says, I can get to the bridge in 3, it almost feels like, I can get you alive out of there in 5 minutes. And he goes, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
I shall die in 3. And like,
Right.
of course, it was all set up and all that, but like, it doesn't. Only Mike was in on it. Oh, sorry, only Faraday was in on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
like, why do the other people just follow? Like, to me, the first what the fuck moment was, why are they still running in a straight line? Nobody stopped. Like, the important thing, and this is something we see in a lot of intelligence agencies, spy movies, right? The asset is what's important.
Right.
The agents are glad to give their lives to complete the mission. But, like, don't just lay down your lives just because, you know, you end up being, oh, no, we are the blue collar. This is the movie saying blue collar people are expendable. They just die for no reason. Right?
Yep.
Like, nobody's like, okay, they are shooting at us. They clearly know what we're doing. Let's take an alternate route, and
Correct.
let's stay back and try to find out. No,
They
nobody
didn't
does
stay
that.
put. They didn't go inside.
Yeah.
They didn't go underground. They just
Listen.
remained on
Listen.
the Killbox road.
Yeah,
Listen, Luke Cage doesn't need cover. Okay, Luke Cage can just do whatever he needs
did
to
it.
do. You know,
Luke Cage is a triple agent.
and
in
if
this
if Luke Cage says
'Cause he
you
was
walk a
bulletproof.
straight line, you do it. That's
Always
all I can say.
forward.
Actually, that-
always forward.
You bring up a good point, Matt. That does explain how he survived being
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
He's Luke Cage.
A shot's not going to kill
He's
Luke
Luke
Cage.
No,
Cage.
that won't kill
Exactly.
Luke Cage.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's a very good point. Let's jump forward into the
Okay,
movie
okay.
a bit further to talk a little bit more about their lack of intelligence.
Lack.
Where should we
Lacking.
go from there? Could we
Well,
talk?
the recruitment
Talk about
of Mike
Jersey.
as a whole, right?
Sorry,
Just
what was
the
that?
whole,
Mike.
the idea of recruiting Mike, the way
Right,
that
yeah.
it came about,
Yep.
and how they did it. Like, I imagine the conversation with Brennan, because we see Roxanne roll up to the bar, right,
Right.
and say, "Oh, this is the guy," and she says, "Yeah, he's never let me down since," and blah blah blah. But like, imagine
Since
the
he let me
conversation.
down.
Imagine the conversation. She's like, "Oh fuck, they have this list with every possible agent we can have. How the fuck are we going to retrieve this?" And Roxanne goes, "Don't worry.
My ex.
I have an ex-boyfriend that I haven't seen in 20 years who works construction
From high school.
from high school.
You
Yeah.
know people can be trusted when you knew them in high school. They're the
Yeah,
same.
and you knew him
25
in high
years
school.
ago.
He has stayed in the same city that we lived our entire lives. He works construction. He is our guy." And Brennan goes, "Yeah, okay, that makes sense."
He's the guy we're going to take to London. And we're
Yeah.
going to let him drive
We're
a
gonna
car, even though he's
kidnap him.
confused by the very nature of being in London.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm gonna create a false pretense,
Yes.
to meet
I'm going to
him.
manipulate him.
but,
Yes.
and then I'm gonna kidnap him. He's gonna wake
Yes.
up in a country that he's never left the tri-state area. We're gonna
Correct.
bring him to another country. We're gonna introduce him to a bunch of secret agents. Tell him of a secret agency that nobody knew existed, and then we're gonna say, "Hey, now that you know all of this about us, do you want to maybe do a job for us?" And the worst part to me is like, it's just a one-time job, man. You can go back to your life after you know all of our secrets. Like, what?
Hey, man, we haven't gotten to Mike as a plot hole yet. Let's
Oh
reel
no,
it
I'm
in.
not even talking
Listen.
about Mike. I'm talking about them.
How
Well, that's fair.
how beautiful, how much better would this movie have been, really, if she showed up and he just looked like everybody does when they come out of high school and work construction? Just bald spot, giant gut,
Mm.
you know, just, pretzels in his underpants, just a general mess. She just walks in and he's like, "Is that the guy?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's the guy."
That's
and
him,
then
all right.
the rest of the montage is just him losing weight with Ozempic. I think that would have been,
Sure. Okay.
More
perfect.
realistic.
you know what I mean? Plus,
You
you
could
had
have
a
won,
built-in
you know.
sponsor, so you could have gotten some more FX money.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
your strike team in Trieste.
Trieste. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
would have been able to actually been shot and like use proper squibs as opposed to
Yeah.
the sound of a gun, and then they fall like it's a grade 7.
Oh, there
play
is
anyways.
that too.
Yeah.
Like they're just falling down like soccer
Oh, no, I'm
soccer
dead.
players when someone gets near them.
I don't want to go too far down this hole, but that's just editing. Like the editor of sounds just like, what if we had the sound go off and we just let them hang out for way longer than they should before they dropped? That'd be funny, right?
it's an ongoing theme because even when they tried to get they tried to steal the second auction smartphone from the Russian MTV Cribs house.
Yeah.
That is
poor Athena.
That is 100% an MTV Cribs house.
Yeah.
Poor Athena gets an off-screen death.
Oh, so unfair.
And I thought she was rendered unconscious when they went back in, and then her friend was like, "I'm right here. Your buddy's here," and she looked unconscious for a moment.
Yeah.
But then then Foreman had to tell us she's dead, and I'm like, "Really? I don't see any blood, Foreman."
Well, yeah. So
Ass.
all great points. If we stick to the idea that they don't know how intelligence works, in the
all
scenario,
of this tracks.
all this tracked, right? Because they go into the not North Korean Russians cribs, and
Yeah.
and they are able to obtain a phone, arguably much easier than they did
Yeah.
by actually getting Mike to pose as a billionaire and handing over $5 million.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no questions asked. And
What was in that sink?
everything.
That looked like soiled water.
It's not important.
Mm.
What is important is as we continue down the intelligence road on this, now we are going to the lack thereof. Now we get to the spot where they are going to track the location of the auctioneer using the phone when the auction is live,
Right.
to then have them on a bike drive to where the auctioneer is currently
Right.
situated.
Having no idea whether they can actually get to the auctioneer on time
Sure.
because
Yeah.
they didn't know where they would be.
Exactly. Just
No plan there.
Yeah.
And they're constantly like under the boot heel or being harassed by the CIA. Like they're going to be shut down by the CIA if they don't.
may I support
Get
you?
this
The
back,
honkies from the
The
CIA.
honkies, thank you for the honkies from the CIA. And so their master plan to save their company from failing is two people get on one motorbike.
Yes.
Mm,
Not
And
a
they
grid
just-
search. No.
correct.
Not multiple people on bikes, and so you can have them stationed out so you can get there in time.
I'll tell you why though, because they're blue collar workers. They can only afford one bike.
The union is the bootstrapped black ops
Yeah.
of
They're the ones who came up with picking yourself up by your bootstraps.
Is it because the union pays equal wages to everybody, and by paying those equal wages, they have no money left over for all the spy stuff?
That's exactly it. Those union fees are killer, man.
You're too woke. That's too woke. That's too woke, sir. Why are you being so
But
woke,
what if
sir?
what if you were to pay them a living wage, but then their union fees brought that money back in?
Well, I mean,
Buy the
we
toys.
can't even. Maybe they just they like to pretend that they have more money. That's why they had the luxury car that they give Mike to drive, and that's why they had the one that bike wasn't even the unions. That bike was just Roxanne's. She bought it with her own money.
But there was
shit?
this is the other thing. There are 50 different employees you see, if not more, mechanics and blah blah blah.
Bakers,
Just
The robot from Iron Man 1. What was his name?
And
Jimmy?
And they have one, by my count, one field agent.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the other ones died in
Two
Trieste.
field agents
They all
because
died in Trieste. That's why.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
maybe
That
that's
was their
fair. Okay, you're right.
That was their whole agency right
That's
there.
fair. That was their
They had
agency
six,
gone.
Is it
and they all
possible?
died.
Yeah,
Is it also possible that this entire that Faraday was actually trying to fundraise for the union? Like they
No.
were so ass out.
No, because we're gonna
Money.
talk about this later.
yeah, we'll get
but
to
no,
it.
it's not.
He was pretty
Yeah.
clear on it.
Yeah,
I know, but still,
So-
look at the evidence we brought together.
And then I'm not gonna ding them for the idea that they got their headquarters exploited because it was an inside job. Who could have? That's fine. That's the one time it maybe makes some sense. But everything else after that, where they get I don't know if it's the CIA's fault. Maybe we'll have to talk about it there. They're just all taken out of the game, right?
Well,
The
yeah,
entire
because
union is taken
they
out
get-
except for Rux.
they get framed and then taken
Brennan.
out. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So Rox and Mike are
Right.
the only two left, and
Because
so that's
they
it.
have plot armor.
That's the agency. We're done with the union, right? At that point.
Well, yeah, the union doesn't exist anymore. Brennan is in some fucking black site of the
Yeah.
CIA being interrogated. Although even
Brennan.
that is like, he's just like sitting, hanging out in the chair in the middle of a room.
Hey man, we got 5 more plot holes. Don't worry, the CIA is one of them. We'll get there.
All right, but yeah. So they have like 2 people on a bike to canvass the entire city of London, basically, to find this fucking
Famously
auctioneer.
small city.
Right. And how, like, if this was all being done online, why did they think that the auctioneer was in London? It could have been anywhere in the fucking world.
Correct.
I mean,
Shit.
listen,
I actually just realized this. It doesn't make any sense that they knew that the auctioneer was in London.
I also find it difficult to make sense of the fact that I just watched this movie and I remember none of what you guys are bringing up right now. I didn't know there was a guy in a room. I didn't remember anyone getting tortured. I don't even know who these people's names are. I'm very confused.
Oh, you're Spencer.
You've
Spencer.
slid into the Spencer slot easily.
Welcome back, Spencer.
Well done.
Just try.
Well done.
Let's do this properly. Did you
That's
watch
method
this
acting.
movie?
I
That's
did.
method acting.
I thought I did. I was under the impression that I watched this
You're
movie.
doing
but
so well.
apparently
You're doing so
I didn't
well,
watch it
Spencer.
well enough.
Do me a favor. Don't go into
Incel Spencer.
Incel Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unneeded in this juncture. So, I mean, we try to clean up the plot holes as best we can.
Oh,
You can't
that's
clean.
a
That's
tall
unclean.
order here.
We are unclean.
You know what?
at the
Maybe
Zone
we just
Battle.
don't clean up these plot holes because we have 5 more to cover, and the only way to clean these 6 plot holes up is to write a different movie.
Yeah. We can try. I would say let's try that like writing a similar but different movie at the end of
All
the
right.
plot hole section. Yeah.
On to plot hole number 2. The union
Oh.
itself, the company, the organization, is stupid. And it doesn't make any sense. So,
Yeah.
not focusing on the lack of intelligence in the company, but the idea that they hire blue-collar workers because they are the unsung heroes, and they're the people that make things happen, is what J.K. Simmons
Get
tells
shit
us.
done.
Yeah,
as-
they're going
as
to
it
get
says,
shit
yeah.
done. Okay, but like the shit they get done is make my coffee and clean up the trash and
I would go a step further because they act in this movie like the other agencies are like a bunch of elitist, like buffoons, jerks. He even says it, I bet this whole script started with some dumbass writer going blue collar, not blue blood, and someone went, "Oh, that is so insightful. Let's make a movie about it." Because it's not like if you see other movies, right? Even James Bond's movie, like James Bond is arguably probably the most posh and pampered spy that we've ever seen in movies, right? Or if not the one of the ones. Even he poses like Mission Impossible does. They infiltrate places as like electricians and plumbers, and like it's a known thing that you go in as an everyday man to blend in, but you need skills that encompass the whole. Like, great, you have the union, right? You're all blue collar workers, you're all like everyday people. Okay, now you have to infiltrate this high like stakes gala with like billionaires. Oh, we're fucked, we can't do it.
what are you talking about? They got 6 weeks of training.
Yeah.
Normally.
That was 2, I thought. Was that 6 or 2?
Because
It was
it's-
condensed to 2.
It's 6 months, she says. 6 months
Oh,
straight.
my bad. Okay, that's
But,
a little
but like,
better.
okay, so but like
6 into 2.
if they are all of them everyday people, who's gonna train them how to be posh morons?
Listen, the finishing school was off screen.
Yeah.
Like what's her face's death. It was just
Athena.
there. We take it for granted. They learned how to like drink tea. They just
Okay.
basically went to Bridgerton,
And then
I'm assuming.
and then the whole premise of the union being just everyday people goes to shit. This just becomes another agency that happens to employ a bunch of blue collar workers, which fine. But like I agree with you, Matt. Like the way you described it, like it's just the premise of it is dumb. In that
It falls
would be
apart instantly.
instantly. It would make no sense. Like it would be
Exactly.
such an, and they go like, we're the ones that actually get shit done. Sure, if the thing that needs to get done is like manual labor, great. Like I'm not dissing on the blue collar workers themselves, but like it's too niche.
It's
Listen, I am dissing blue collar workers. I am now going to be watching Matt Plummer when he comes to my house. I'm going to be like, what are you putting in there? What are you doing? And then I'll remember that. I'm like, oh, you're incompetent. You'll just be shot as soon as you walk outside. It's fine. You can take it.
All you have
It's good.
to make sure is, if the plumber is doing shit and then suddenly you open like your cookie jar and there's a gun in there, that's a
Listen,
sign.
all I have to do is hope that if we go outside, if I have to chase him because he stole something, that we don't end up on a very tall beam. Because
Yeah.
then I'm done.
Yeah.
Like, there's no
You're
chance.
Oh
There's no
man.
chance. He's-
Holy
He's in
shit.
his
stepped-
element.
Holy
Correct. You stepped
shit.
into the danger zone.
The
Yeah.
fucking like ham-fisted. Oh, he knows how to walk beams because he
Yeah.
works construction. Fuck you, movie.
hey, don't worry, Matt. When you die, that guy's foreman's gonna be pretty pissed at him for not making you wear a safety harness. So that
Right? Yeah.
he'll get
yeah.
his comeuppance. Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
The thing I think I noticed in this movie is that could the union be a cool idea? I don't know, but they basically shoehorn the union in to be a secret agency or a spy
Well,
agency.
Yeah,
but,
like not because people know about CIA, FBI,
Yeah.
but people don't know about the union, right?
right. Well, everybody does apparently, but
Mhm.
but my
True,
point.
true. You're right. Yeah.
My point here is that like they don't take the effort of tailoring the work the union does
yeah.
to things the union could be good at. They're just like, hey, you're a bunch of blue collar workers. Okay, go and
Here's $5 million. Yeah.
here's $5 million. Go chase down this list of secret agents. The CIA lost. Like,
Yeah.
there's no other agency that can do this work.
Yeah.
The CIA can't chase down their own. I don't know why the CIA isn't chasing down their own fucking list.
And this is like every Western allied country, right? So where is like
MI6.
MI6? Where is like even Interpol? If we're talking about like no, nobody cares. It's only the American.
Interpol is a private entity, so you don't want to pay them.
Well, you don't have any money even.
No, we don't.
I like the idea
As
of
evidence.
I like the idea of trying to tie their skills to like how the espionage is. Like if one of the like high people, like the auctioneer, she goes to the bathroom and then there's like Halle Berry's like giving her toilet paper or something,
Yeah.
but it's got a bug on it.
Giving
Like,
her-
so she's
giving
just
her
basically
A bug up. What's with this bug up your ass?
No,
Yeah.
no,
Or
it's
she's-
she's like, oh, the auctioneer is there in the rich people area. I don't know
Yeah.
anything about that, but when she comes in here, the mint I'm gonna give her after she uses the
Yes.
loo is tracked.
yeah.
That would,
That's
Actually,
the blue collar
that-
aspect of it,
If
right?
you
That would've
if you
worked.
make that into a straight up comedy, not just an
Yes.
like and just do that, like all of the agents are doing like the most menial, invisible jobs, and it works. That would
Dirty
actually
work.
be funny.
Yeah.
And then the auctioneer would have been like flush, and then she's like, "I'm so sorry." And then just like in Deuce Bigelow, when the dad has to go and clean up the clogged toilet,
Yeah.
Halle Berry or whoever has to go and clean. I love Halle Berry. I don't want her to do that, but like
fine.
that moment would be comedy gold.
We can get Athena Kim or Frank Preffer to do it. That's fine. They
Yeah.
existed in part of the movie.
Yeah, they exist. Get the foreman to have it.
But that would make sense, right?
Anyways.
And that's the thing with the union is like the premise is stupid because they immediately take the idea and try to make them do the same spy work that James Bond would do, and it falls apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the idea is dumb because they take it seriously. I think that's the thing. As a funny idea, it works. As like a straight up, okay, this is an actual intelligence agency that does things and is funded by the government. It's ludicrous.
All right,
Yeah.
It's like taking Johnny English seriously almost.
100%. Let's move on to plot hole number 3.
Uh-oh.
Mike McKenna, Mark
the main-
Wahlberg's character.
The main character.
Yeah.
I mean, he's he's not the main character. It's him and
Halle Berry. Yeah.
They're equal.
Roxanne.
They're
What is he?
equal
He's
villain.
Yeah. Go on.
So, Mike gets pulled into this because they need someone who is not on the spy list
Right.
that they've captured in order to get them in the game. This isn't
Which
Mike's.
Ends up
yeah.
being completely useless, but
Well, that's it, right? Like,
yeah.
so
And unnecessary.
So the not North Korean Russians, they're not on a spy list anywhere.
Well,
Right.
no, they're like not Western allied, right? So
Right.
that tracks. That's
Okay,
fine.
so it's only Western allied. Okay, fair enough. I'm not even going to go down that part. But why couldn't the CIA just bid for this?
Well, what was the point of going to the song and dance of getting some rando? Like, oh, you used to be a football star and you can walk on high beams. You're a great agent material. Like that might be a good sort of like introduction to.
Hey.
And now you're doing 8 years of training, and now you're an agent. But
That came in handy though. Let's not disrespect the high walking. That came in handy.
Well,
all right, he took out 2 guys.
that's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
ham-fisted as fuck. But yeah,
They knew that was going to happen. Don't disrespect J.K. Simmons. He knew it was going to happen.
but
he knows the rodeo, the blue collar rodeo.
the worst part of this is that he goes in, he gets the device, immediately loses it, and then, like you said before, Matt, they find a arguably better and like more expeditious way or like effective way of getting another tracker. So what was the point of getting Mike there?
Well,
And why did he stay when he had no? He wasn't.
that's a better
full
question.
agent,
Because
right?
like
True. Why did he
they
stay?
only had to find the better way because their way failed, and if their way had to work, they wouldn't have to do that. So the recruitment of Mike is questionable at best. But
Yeah.
you are right. Like, what motivation does he have to stay?
Oh, because he wants to
Absolutely
complete the
none.
job. Like, if this was serious, they would go,
Terrible.
you can want whatever the fuck you want. You're out. Well, if this was serious, they would shoot him because he now knows state secrets that he can know.
I would vote vaginas. I think that's
I would
why he stays in the
second
game.
that, which
Yeah.
is weak as well. 25 years, your ex comes through after 20 some odd years, and then you do the little flirty wordsy dance, and then they stab you in the back with a trank. You wake up in another country, and then you
you're
play along,
fine.
hop in a car.
And you're so
You're okay
fine
with that?
Yeah.
Listen,
Nah, bro.
if my ex looks like Halle Berry does when she's 60, I would jump off of the Eiffel Tower for that woman.
But
Ass
Wrong.
first,
You would not.
onto
You would
several
not.
fingers
But I
that
won't-
are not my own.
But the other thing you have to add here is like, as far as I can understand from the backstory, the little backstory they give us, she just fucking bailed on him.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, but
So-
she's still Halle Berry.
Yeah, but
You're saying there's
Yeah.
a chance?
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
He got to nail a 7th grade teacher. What more do you want in life?
Jesus.
Listen.
Oh, there is
well,
that.
she was.
But like, okay, but
she was.
I get what you're saying, Matt. Other Matt. But
Yeah.
he spends the majority of this movie saying, "No, this is not like I'm not making a pass at you. I just want to do this
Correct.
Yeah, those are lies.
thing." I mean,
That's
Those
cool.
are male toxic
Yeah,
lies.
that's the most truthful, realistic part of this movie by far.
like,
I'm not much. It's the no. It's the no. It's the no effort.
I just want to
Shot.
I just want to say something here about Mike. So, there's a scene that pissed me off because of the follow up.
Do it.
They're like training, and he has to memorize this other persona, like Ed Weston, right?
Yeah,
and they're-
big 7-inch.
And they're
binder.
fighting, and she's like, while they're fighting, she's like, "What's your name?" "Oh, I'm Ed Weston. Where are you from?" "Boston." And she goes, "I'm not hearing the accent." And he goes, all right, I parked the car. And then famously Bostonian fucking Marky Mark
Mhm.
cannot use his own fucking accent for the rest. Like, he goes into that shop, he talks to the person, he talks to Rudy, whatever all in this generic made up New Jersey accent that he has.
We've fucking seen him use the accent in The Departed,
Exactly.
right?
It's his. He had to
He can do it.
fight it.
It's his mother tongue.
Yeah.
That would be like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck
Affleck.
in Good Will Hunting not having a Bostonian accent too. Like it's that level of stupid. And
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I was like, dude can't even do it. Like he's such a bad actor that he can't even do his own accent. Like what the fuck is going on?
I'm a dude playing a dude who needs to play himself
And
as
can't.
a dude from Boston, but I
Listen.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
He was trying to play it as a blue collar worker who's a fish out of water and can't do accents.
From Jersey,
It's layers and it's talent. So lay off it.
Actually,
it's
he wow.
no layers like a lasagna and no talent. Then I would agree.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
I mean, that's fair.
yes, and even when Roxanne walks into the bar and they try to the movie tries to whisk us away, like if you haven't seen the trailer, whether you have or you haven't seen the trailer, it's bullshit straight up and down. She walks in, we know she has some ulterior motive because the movie has shown us that she's an agent and she's coming to recruit him. And so the whole time I'm actually thinking, don't do it, dude. Don't do it.
Walk
and
away.
Then, right. And even before that, like they show us the relationship with his mother. And I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Yes. Okay, good. You like that. That was wholesome. And then Roxanne walks in and then the movie kicks off, right? No connection, no motivation. I'm like, why? Why are you doing this,
Well,
dude?
I mean, they have a connection. They used to be friends in high school.
Used
Also,
to until
we
he got
quickly-
tranked and freighted to the other side of
Oh,
the
we've
world.
established just is that he
Can we also-
wanted some Halle Berry pussy. That's what he wanted.
Yes, but that's not enough to risk one's life,
Well,
son.
that's a
Oh,
judgment
yes,
call.
it is.
I don't think
Yes.
that's a judgment call.
He was banging his teacher, and then Halle Berry walks back into his life. And I would
But that's not how it
also
is.
go okay.
but that is not the plot hole. Like that's not a plot hole for Mike that he wants to get with Halle Berry.
That's the credible part.
That's the credible part.
Yeah.
But it all
Yeah.
falls apart because he stays for no reason.
Yeah,
Correct.
And everything he does
Yeah.
either
Everything I do
makes it worse
has no motivation.
or doesn't have any effect.
it's more the latter.
Yeah.
Like he goes along, right? And whenever he does something himself, other than we're gonna talk about this later, but other than like killing a guy with a brick when he was holding a gun, nothing else he does
Construction.
is of actual like
Consequence.
effect. It's all, which is it's fine. He's not an agent, but then
Yeah.
why was he still there?
Yeah.
After he
Couldn't she?
that's
It felt like Halle Berry could have just done this on her own. More
faster,
effective,
correct.
faster. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was
And
like
the only
dead
re-
weight,
Go on.
basically.
Yes. And the only reason he should have stayed is if for some once the Faraday forces and auctioneer forces realize who this is, once they really make this guy Mike. Also, why did he call out his own government name?
Yeah, I was gonna say
later
that.
on? He's like, no, it's not aliens.
Yeah,
It's
she go,
Mike.
how very duplicitous of you, Mr. Weston. Oh, my name's Mike McKenna from New Jersey. Here's my social
Fuck.
security number.
Yes.
And while we're going
Why did
on
he do
this,
that?
I forgot about that.
while we're going on this, why did his mother look like we have Jennifer Coolidge at home? Like she just was
Yeah, she
almost,
does, a
but
little
not
bit.
quite.
Yeah,
She
And the
felt
guy-
familiar.
And the very guy in the beginning looked suspiciously a lot like Channing Tatum, but wasn't. I don't understand
Yeah.
this movie. There was actors
Sure.
there that weren't there. Nothing
Yes.
makes sense. This movie's done.
And
I
if
can't
they
take
wanted
it
to
anymore.
give, I hear you. If they wanted to give Mike McKenna real motivation after he left, then once they made his real identity after working with the so-called union, once they
Or
made him,
he
they
just
should have.
told them.
Yes, that too. They should have grabbed his mother, and if they grabbed his mother, then you have real meat. Then he would have all the reasons to go ham.
Chris, this is great. Logic, we're not here for it. We
Yeah.
need to move on to
Okay.
our next plot hole to keep
I
pace.
apologize.
okay.
Logic. What was I thinking?
Yeah, you're wrong. The villain's motivations.
Oh, no.
Faraday, the auctioneer, really are the two main villains.
Juliet is her name.
The movie.
Juliet. Oh, I know, but they also call the auctioneer. So
Yeah.
pick your
Juliet.
poison.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Juliet, no. A knocks on the moon.
Faraday.
He's fucking out of the blue.
But it fits.
He does.
Faraday dies.
Faraday wants a payday.
Who knows what happened to Faraday? I don't care. Yeah, Faraday
we
orchestrates
know.
all of this to get a
And
payday.
fakes his own death. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think, we talked about this in the pre-show, and I think the core premise of this is all of the things that Faraday orchestrates to fake his own death mean nothing because he inserts himself heavily
Yeah.
in the process from the time he is alive to the end of the movie.
Arguably, him faking his own death and doing things from afar in like covert ways, it was actually detrimental to his own plan. Because if he was involved directly, he could have steered things much more easily.
True. I think if he had evolved himself into a Brennan of his own making, it probably would have
Well,
worked.
it
and then
didn't.
he could have driven the powerboat himself, picked up the suitcase, and gone off onto the sunset.
So I'm not even going that far. I'm just saying, like he tells Roxanne later, he's like, "Oh, after you did da da da, I had to do this, and I had to kill Athena, and I had to blow up the tower, and all that shit." And it's like,
Collateral damage.
well, you had to do that because you faked your own death, you stupid idiot.
Yes.
Like if you were there, it was like, oh fuck, they knocked me out, or like they shot me. I was like, when he gets shot, he gets shot in the chest, right, and he falls into the water.
Yeah.
I was for sure, like I was thinking, oh, he's gonna come out and say, oh, they thought they killed me, but they didn't, which would have been smart, right?
Mm-hmm.
But no, he just like disappeared. Oh, he's dead. Nobody goes looking for him. First of all,
it falls into it plays into the age old principle: no body, no real death.
exactly. And this is an agency, right? He's a secret agent. The union doesn't even go look for his body to retrieve it and like clean up, right?
That's fair, but that's the union's
Logic.
lack of
That's
due
the
diligence.
That's the first plot hole.
We covered them already.
We covered that
We
already.
covered them already. They had no idea what to do with it.
We're past it.
We're
Do
past
we
it.
do we need a new plot hole? Should we pull one
No,
from the cast?
let's
No,
just-
we're in it.
We're in it.
We do it. We keep going.
We're talking about.
Okay.
We're talking
The
about.
villain.
We're talking about Faraday and Juliet's
Yes.
motivations. I think Juliet, the
Motivation.
auctioneer's motivations seem pretty clear cut. She's just it's payday for her.
Well, yeah. It's
Right?
And Faraday's Faraday.
Yeah, Faraday wants a payday, like I said, and that's fine as a motivation. However,
Why do they care about who they're selling it to?
yeah,
They just
like-
want money.
Yeah.
imagine how much better it would have been in terms of like satisfaction to steal something from the CIA and have them pay
Sure.
to retrieve
Right.
it. Because he wasn't like, oh, fuck all of these agencies, I want everybody to burn. He was like, no, I just want, not to. He says, Brennan's blue collar bullshit was getting to me. I just want to make money. Fair, a little greedy,
Yes.
but fair. So why not let the CIA buy the thing again?
Yep.
Yeah.
He could
This is
potentially
like-
made
yeah.
a lot more money if he knew the CIA was there, and every time the CIA bid, he had someone else bid him even higher.
Yeah, and the money, the bid amount is just skyrocketing up and up and up and up. At that point, the plan was working.
Yeah.
But I have the answer. I know why.
Uh-oh.
It's because Faraday's villainy onboard training was never completed.
Oh, we're gonna get there.
Mm.
We're gonna get
Sure.
there next.
He only had 2 months or 6 weeks.
Six
For a week.
weeks, six
6
months of
days?
villainy training compressed into 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Oh,
That's it.
He got the Mike McKenna treatment.
Treatment.
The Mike McKenna protocol.
I see.
Well, and this.
The Bastion protocol.
I mean, I think it's like the whole thing doesn't make sense, and I think it's time to get into the. 'Cause they go hand in hand. What we're talking about is the.
Before we get to the villainy part, I just want to ask a question. So Juliet, the auctioneer, is arguably a villain in this,
Mhm.
right? And like you said, she was in this for the moolah. Fair.
Right. Yeah.
So why did she betray Faraday in that scene
Good question.
where like Halle Berry's
With
pointing
Roxanne.
the gun and she had like 6 people pointing guns at Halle Berry?
Outgunned.
Why not just kill this woman who's been a pest
Yep.
and continue
Correct.
with the fucking plan with the Iranians?
Well, that's
Logic.
how we slip into villainy because no
There you
one
go.
is a villain, right? That's a good segue.
Yeah.
Because we see, so for whatever reason, Faraday is very capable of offing all his friends or attempting to off all of his friends
Yeah.
from, even though he just wants to get paid. And he's like, you got to cover tracks. But he seems like he's going out of his way. Like, he did not have to kill Athena Kim at all.
Maybe
That
he
just
just
seemed like a
didn't like
pleasure
her.
kill.
Yeah, it was like, since I'm here, might as well get rid of the people I don't like.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then, but when it comes to actually doing the job in, like the last third of the movie where, he could
Oh man,
killed his ex-wife, he could have like shot the Iranians, he could have shot. Nobody shoots at anybody.
nobody
in a
kills
meaningful way.
anybody. Yeah.
But like, and I understand the
It's not-
good guys. Like, I understand Mike not wanting to shoot because he still loves Roxy, etc. Like, that's fine. That's a fair motivation. But all the villains, like, you already show you'll kill for very little reason.
Yeah.
Why don't you keep doing it?
Fair enough, though. Well, we don't know why he killed Athena. Maybe she was like disrespectful or something. Maybe she said something mean to him, or she rejected him or something. There could be motivation as to why he killed her. I think that there might be something there.
Well,
Maybe it
that's
was a workplace disagreement.
That's fine, but like at that point, why not kill Mike, for example? Well,
He's
it's
got
not
no
just
beef with Mike.
it's not just them. Like it's not just Faraday. Even the Iranians.
Yeah, this is
Like,
also true.
Nobody shoots Mike. Like, they go do the fucking like beam dance with Mike instead of shooting him.
They're not very good gangsters. The gun is put on the
Light
table,
on
and
their
they're
feet.
like, "Oh, this is not for me. I'm leaving."
Yeah, yeah. It was like, oh,
Oh,
she has
offended.
a gun away from her hand. Can't do anything.
Oh.
I'm out. Yeah,
After they
I'm
remarked
just going
that
to.
they brought all of these like bodyguards.
yeah.
No.
She has no
You're
gun in her
you're-
hand.
You are comparing the number of bodyguards on each side. She just walked in on her own.
Shoot her. Who cares who
Yeah.
she is?
Like even Faraday proved that like that he could run a good distraction play by like yanking the cloth off the table. Anyone could have done something. That was mega stupid. Leaving a gun in the middle of the table, also showing up with like no real show of like gun support or whatever.
She had Mike on a Vespa.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. What was I thinking? Like the cards were stacked.
The whole
in their favor.
part in the beginning before that was planned that you didn't see. He's like, "What getaway car are we gonna get?" She's like, "Well, we could get that SUV over there. We could get this like motorcycle, like 8 cylinders. It's great. It's amazing. Listen to it purr." And he's like, "No, let's get the Vespa."
Yeah, yeah. Well, to me, the most egregious. Why don't you just like? To me, the most egregious. Why don't you just shoot a moment is when Mike is on the hood of the Iranian car
BMW.
He gets like he could have shot him there, but let's say he didn't want to
True.
shoot through the windshield. But then Mike
Right.
gets trapped
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
inside
Into
the trunk of a car. Cannot
Yes.
go anywhere. Why didn't the Iranian just walk there? 2 seconds, 3 shots, dead.
yes.
No, just leave him there. And then
That's the thickest plot armor I've ever
oh
seen.
yeah, and then right after, I was gonna say Mike again because this is Mike Coulter. Faraday drives by in his purple Porsche, points the gun at the Iranian, grabs the thing and runs away instead of shooting the Iranian.
Did he have to shoot him?
Why
though?
not?
Like that, it was a business.
They were shooting each other. The Iranian would have
Clearly,
killed
were
him. Yeah, because if the Iranian killed Faraday, he could have gotten the list for free instead of transferring money.
True, but clearly, from the look of that BMW, how beat up it was, and the fact that there was luggage everywhere, and this man was living out of his car, and everyone felt bad for him.
He didn't.
Clearly,
He didn't want to destroy his home.
they were
is what
like
they're
going to
saying.
shoot him, and he was just like, "Shoot him!" And he's like, "This economy, I can't do
But that's
that.
not the
fair."
Iranian's car. But he rolls up in a much fancier car.
That's true.
Yeah, that's what he wanted you to believe.
Well, I mean,
he just happened to be in that car.
you can only
But
believe what the
hard
movie tells you,
times.
right?
And also, they were bringing a shit ton of money to buy the list.
That's why he's living in his car.
What,
because it
like,
costs
yeah.
him so much.
You
That's like
tried, Matt, but no.
500,
The money was in the suitcase.
$600 million. Do we ever? Was it $600 million? Is that what they
Yeah,
settled
something like
on?
that. Yeah.
I think this. Listen, these are all good points. The villains suck. Let's get to the last plot hole here.
Oh my god, I lost track of the number
The
already.
it going.
CIA.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Um,
So he's from the CIA.
I understand that you need sort of a fall fall guy, fall person, a stooge, if you will, and the CIA to some degree is a bit of a stooge here, but it just feels weird that the CIA. I don't know I'll give you some examples, and you guys jump in where you think this is where the CIA falls apart in terms of plot holes. The CIA generates this list of all the secret agents, everybody who's ever done anything
for reasons unknown.
We're done.
For reasons
There you
unknown.
go.
And it's just the CIA isn't the Union. The CIA is a known commodity.
Right.
The CIA would never just create this. Like, it's a little far-fetched to believe the CIA would create this list and then
lose it.
And then employ a third agency to clean up the mess. Like, why would the CIA need to hire the Union at all?
Yeah. Why wasn't the CIA cleaning up its own mess? They make it seem like, oh, we're the ones that get shit done when the other ones don't. But one, you clearly don't. All you
Absolutely
do is
not.
fail.
Mm-hmm.
And second of all, at that point, why, like, the CIA was able to capture the Union people, right? Well, except for Halle Berry and Mark.
Halle Berry's the only field agent left, so that's why she got away.
Well, I mean, the time she takes from saying yelling jump and actually jumping onto that boat, she could have been so riddled with bullets. But, you know, plot armor being what it is, it makes sense, unfortunately.
She threw the case. Did they have to start shooting?
I feel like all the gunmen were just frozen by that. And they're like, well, is she going to jump?
Yeah,
like, you know, you get in that moment, you think someone's going to do someone's going to do something, so you're like, I would, but I don't. Oh, what are you doing? And then she just froze them. I think that's
it's
what
more
it was.
like the incredulity. They're like, jump, and she turns around and slowly climbs the rail, and they're like, is she for fucking real? What's going on here?
What's happening?
What?
That's not jumping. That's climbing.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
That's like what hoisting oneself over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. First of all, I don't believe that fucking, you know, wannabe like the dude that is liaisoning with Brennan, the dude that
CIA,
the dude
Idaho
that wanted
guy?
so badly to be Gary Oldman in The Professional, but wasn't.
Don't we all want to be Gary Oldman sometimes?
Yeah, that's true.
You know.
And I don't believe him for like a secret agent or a director of an agency, and like at no point does he convince me that he's anything other than like some fucking smug wannabe something.
Wait, Gary Oldman?
No, Gary Oldman is good. The guy that wanted to be Gary Oldman.
The CIA director from Idaho.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
I'm from Idaho. You think I don't know that? Yeah.
Who seemed genuinely concerned about the budget a lot. So maybe that's why they were in a there was some budget issues.
This is another thing, because like the U.S. doesn't really make a secret of like things like the national defense budget. The national defense budget of 2023, based on a very cursory Google search, is $820 billion
with a B.
With the B, and this guy is like, oh man, you're up to 150 million.
We're gonna have to sell a state. Blah, blah,
right?
blah. It makes no fucking sense. Yeah,
and it's like, why? Like, it's just that whole thing didn't make sense. The CIA lost this list. Wouldn't you try? Like, this is every secret agent ever in the history of time and space, and you're like, 150? Nah, that's too rich. I guess they'll die.
I'm walking out. Yeah, no, this has like Dr. Evil and Austin Powers energy, but without the
100%.
comedy.
Yeah.
I want $1 million.
100%.
It's like, do you know how money works?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't. That none of the, and then him being like a boomer with the cell phone when doing the thing for the it's like raising the thing. Oh, how does this work? Like, is this is the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, not my grandma.
Terrible.
Trying to use a cell phone.
Yeah. The most bumbling idiot.
Yeah.
You know, to me, this is where, like, part of this problem is because you've made it, like, somehow got to be an international agency immediately, the Union. And, like, to me, this is where you want to have, like, the local sheriff involved, right? Because you believe the local sheriff.
Yeah,
You could have had just fucking the London police involved. He represents the London police. Because then you'd be like, oh yeah, the police are idiots. They fucking kill the wrong people all the time. That's like their favorite pastime. And so now when he's an idiot,
Yeah, that would have been better.
it's believable. But the CIA, I'm like, this guy runs the CIA. He can't be this stupid. It's just, it's a little too far fetched.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like it just unravels, right? The fact that like Faraday tricks them into believing that this guy who apparently ran really secretive black ops missions for him, like that guy's worked for the CIA forever, right? Like Tom Brennan worked for the CIA forever, and now he's gonna sell this list, and they all just believe Faraday point blank.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true. It's like, well, there is a hint. Must be true.
This guy who came back from the dead, conveniently right now, he must be trustworthy. Not this guy we worked with for 50 years.
I also like the thing. Even like Roxy, who probably knew him better, right? Is like, no. I'll take care of the auctioneer. Just leave her to me. And you don't hear, like, he could have made a showing at least of shooting like the wall or whatever to say, no, I'm gonna kill her. No, he's just, they walk away. I kept listening and they're like, is he not gonna, is it gonna be that? Yeah, he's gonna be that obvious. Okay. This guy, this fucking idiot tricked 2 agencies and got away with, well, I mean, considering how incompetent they both are, it actually does track.
The blue collar one, I get why they'd be somewhat incompetent because they're apparently blue collar. That's fair. But I also questioned why the head of the CIA was even involved.
Well,
like, he's the head of the CIA.
I don't think they ever qualify him like that. He's a member or like some sort of a middle management of the. Like, he's the supervisor.
The banker of the CIA.
He's the supervisor of the CIA. I don't know.
Yeah. Was he even CIA? Who was this guy? I don't even know.
That's a good question, right? Yeah. Actually, I'm actually looking what his build is.
I was trying to find him and I couldn't. So forgettable, but and annoying, equally as annoying. So, let me know if you find him. But
yeah, I'm trying.
The most bumbling and ineffective actor and character served no purpose whatsoever.
To be fair, he did a good job acting, being a bumbling idiot.
Acting what?
Well, he's supposed to be a bumbling idiot. Very successful.
Ugh.
That is
just not very funny about it, though.
No, it's unnecessary to this movie, but
it was cringe.
He's efficient at what he's supposed to do. It just has no place in this movie. Like, it's not.
Is his name Bobby Breslin?
I think so. I don't know. I fucking can't tell.
He's just built as Bobby Breslin. No. Like, Bobby Breslin, CIA. I think we might be onto something here. I think he was not CIA at all.
He's a triple agent.
Yeah.
He was working for the Iranians the whole time.
That actually makes more sense. That's the end of our plot holes. And
should
if
we
I'm
try
honest,
to fix this?
No, fuck that. What's the point? Like,
oh, okay.
We can't fix this. Like, you're writing
well,
a whole.
We did. Like, I was thinking when you were talking about him being like the police instead of CIA.
Yeah, but like
if everything wasn't save the whole world, if it was just like saving, someone has the list of Union agents and we need to recover that.
At what point are you just writing an entirely different movie?
100%.
Right? And so, like, that's not, we don't need to do that. This is,
doesn't even like, smell like the same movie, yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
I can give you a movie that's like better than this.
Well, yeah.
I can describe it for you pretty easily.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't want to hear it, but go on.
It's pretty simple, right? So, basically it's just a simple breakdown here. When a U.S. government agent and his mentor go on a covert assignment that takes a disastrous turn, his mentor is killed, and the one person becomes the prime suspect and must, as a fugitive, track down the brilliant hackers that stole the knock list. And... save the day.
Wait a minute.
I believe that Brian De Palma is attached to direct. That
would be your pick.
Yeah. I'd also get Tom Cruise to star in it. I think he could do it.
Would you change the intro of the movie to feature like the fuse of a bomb going off?
You know what? That's a bit on the nose. Let's not go too far.
Hey, what is John Voight doing these days?
Yeah, I
That's a
think
good question.
I think he'd be good for that.
He could have been such a good pick for the leader of the blue collar agency.
Right? He oozes blue collar.
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
It really does.
Right?
Listen, what
There
we're
you go.
trying
We
to
fixed
say
it.
is watch
Please-
Mission
please save
Impossible
us.
1.
Please save us,
Okay.
man.
Just watch Mission Impossible 1. We did it. Let's ask some fun questions. Let's have a little bit of fun with this movie here. Let's start off easy. We learn through this movie, for reasons that no one cares to unpack, that Roxanne Hall and Nick Faraday were married, and then they
Right.
got separated. I just want to know what caused them to separate.
Faraday was unable to. He had a terrible jump shot. He kept traveling, and he couldn't sing. And so, for those reasons, like every time she looked, she like at some point, like she wanted to go to karaoke. She wanted to just dribble the ball, try to assume, like get a taste of what normal life or real blue collar, non-working off the clock hours were like. And then she's like, every time I look at you, and like that inner dialogue would bubble, and she's like, every time I look at him, I feel like I just feel like I want to be around someone who's real. Like Mike comes to mind.
I think it was the hair. She got that hair done, came in, and he was just like,
Nope.
I don't even know
What did you
anymore.
do?
Nope,
Who did this
I'm
to
out.
you?
No, I
look
will
like
not.
a human.
I will
Go
not
ahead.
introduce you to the manager. That is
Correct.
not going to happen.
Oh, I see.
You know.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what, Rox? You look like a human Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
No
And
thank
she
you.
was like, you know who would like this? My ex, Mike. And he's like, well, why don't you go find him for some covert secret mission?
Well,
Okay.
maybe I will.
Because he's a nobody.
Maybe
that's what
I
you need right
will.
now.
Maybe I will.
You need a nobody.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how it went down.
I
Guaranteed.
think, and this explains why he killed her. I think that Roxanne
Tried to.
find out that he was having an affair with Athena, and Athena was satisfying his pegging fantasies that Roxanne
snap.
didn't want
Damn. Okay.
He wanted to get paid and
to.
paid.
Exactly.
And this was,
I don't think
this was
Roxanne
before
was
his-
prepared.
yeah. And I think this was before his affair with Jessica Jones. You know, like that was terrible too. Like, how can you just, that was the passion, right? Like I
Sleeping
saw
around?
those two in
He
the
was sleeping
bedroom. They were
around,
just, they were like animals, right? And then that was why all the passion was just sucked out of it. That and the hair.
I think we've more than answered your question.
No, you guys did great. That clears it all up for me. Thank you. Hey, different question. Just a drift slightly to the left on this one.
Uh-oh.
To the left.
Yeah. What are the union rules to arming public places?
You mean how do they figure out which cereal box to put the Glocks in? Is that what you're
Where,
asking?
which one?
That's nice. That's
What
a
are
nice
there, like
one.
limits to the caliber of guns they
I
can
see.
hide? What else?
So
The children find the guns,
the manual.
etc. Yeah,
As
yeah,
you- okay.
The 2-week manual. Let's condense this.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think the first rule on that manual is put guns and gadgets and whatever you think field agents are going to need in the most accessible possible ways.
And it's to maximize the most, like the age-old principle of hiding in plain sight.
Exactly.
If you can reach it, something should be in there.
Exactly. So, like, if you're going to hide guns in like a public plaza of some sort, put the gun in the hand of the largest statue you can find there.
Yeah.
It's gonna look
Put
natural,
the gun. Yep.
right?
Right.
Like the
That's-
statue is
yeah.
holding the gun, but
You thirsty?
only
You
a
want some
trained
water?
agent will know that that's an actual gun,
Correct.
right?
You know, if,
Robert E. Lee, there's a gun in there.
Yeah.
What about that wouldn't work because there's no more Civil War monuments. Thanks, woke people. Now we'll never know
The
who
union,
lost.
the union can't operate in America. America will not stand for any union whatsoever.
Yes,
Exactly.
that might be the most like believable thing about this whole movie.
So it actually, to be honest, though, I think that works better with the new statues. You could just have like all the civil rights leaders holding like books to their chest with Glocks in them, so that they could just like open them up and pull out
Right.
the like Glocks, and it's like, you know,
No, and
that sort of stuff.
And also, find the most cliche places that blue collar workers would work on, like fuse boxes and like
I would-
those lifts that people use to clean windows. Put the guns in there
Yeah.
in plain sight. Just put them there. Anybody can open and pick it up.
I like the idea of like groundskeepers at like a public park.
Right.
Keeping them in like a jungle gym, like one of the bars just comes loose and it's like a sword, like a samurai sword,
Right,
and
right. Or,
out of one of those rocking horses, it's like rocking back and forth, and then boom, suddenly it's like an AK-47, and they're just ready to go and just, I guess, mow down
Well,
children.
the
I don't know why
rocking-
you would need
the rocking horse. The rocking horse becomes an actual vehicle, right?
You don't. To be fair, Matt, you don't actually have to use them to shoot children. You're technically supposed to stop like other secret agents and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess if the kid was a secret
I was
agent,
gonna say,
Yeah,
unless
that's
the kid
true.
is
That's
an
fair.
enemy field agent, then all bets are off.
then you got it.
Yeah,
But the
that's
playground,
true.
the
That's true.
playground rocking horses or the merry-go-round is a perfect place to hide something. Or what if you're thirsty? What if you're
Yeah.
thirsty in a gunfight? Just open up the bottom of the water fountain and pull that Smith and
And
Wesson.
then dual pistols, just like
Another
I love
obvious
that.
place is the McDonald's ball pit. I mean, we know that there are things there
Yeah.
already. One more gun.
Yeah,
Not gonna
There's
make any
always
difference.
some shit.
Can I just ask you guys, in this scene, did anyone else get reminded of that scene in The Simpsons where they like pull the sting on Groundskeeper Willie and you've got agents popping out of everywhere? Like one of them's in the water fountain. It's just got like guns coming out of there and they're all like attacking Groundskeeper Willie.
No, and I'll tell you why not. Because that scene in The Simpsons was actually legit funny.
Yeah.
That's why this didn't remind me of that.
hurtful, but
But that
fair.
scene in this movie was also funny.
Hurtful but fair. Yeah,
I'd like to think Groundskeeper Willie is the true origin of the Union.
he's Brennan's boss. Is what
He
he
is the original blue collar worker.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
he fucking is in a good way. I hadn't thought of that, but you're right. He is the true blue collar agent, the only one and only.
He's the lethal weapon all on his own too.
Yeah.
He could just take them all on.
Like he's ready to tear his clothes off and like over the rocks and like grease me up, woman. Like that's what we needed from Marky Mark, or
Yes.
we needed from the ace in the hole groundskeeper blue collar union.
That's what we needed from this movie, just casual nudity.
Okay. Speaking of, this is a good segue because, Groundskeeper Willie is a good way to get into the next question. Where does the Union do its best recruiting?
Well, we know that Amazon warehouses is one. Like we got name checked. Yeah, they got
finding a lot of-
Rorschach from there.
Yes.
A lot of disenfranchised people.
Freddy Krueger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cineplex Odeon theaters. You need
The people that work behind the counter making popcorn.
Correct.
Right.
Popcorn and the different food.
Right.
The different food
How,
spots.
hey, Chris, how does being a Cineplex Odeon employee make you a good candidate to be part of the Union?
The pain tolerance, first
Okay.
of all. So, like, do you know how many shots of like oil it takes to make like that mountain of butter in the maker? At least 9. That's not the real number. It's more like 1. But I have firsthand experience. When you press that button about 8-9 times, you get nuclear popcorn, and the burns and scalds that take place as a result of just like that kid in The Simpsons, like sir, I don't think he's coming back. Yeah, your pain tolerance goes through the roof, and that's exactly what you
They're
need.
pre-trained then. They have a pre-training
yes.
already. Okay.
You also wouldn't be squeamish because I'm sure you see some stuff in those theaters that people leave behind.
Also,
Have you? Well,
And-
right, condoms,
Yeah.
hot dogs that are rotten.
the mental fortitude you develop of having to work in a Cineplex Odeon alone.
I'm also aware that they can at least fit 4 fingers in their assholes. Like that's
This is also
a requirement
It's
in
like,
all
hey,
Cineplex employers.
I only have $13 for this movie ticket. What can you do? Well, actually, what can you do for me?
For our American listeners, if you don't understand what a Cineplex Odeon worker is, AMC. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly
Yeah.
the same role.
AMC, but less
They can
nice,
fit at
I want to
least-
say.
they can fit at least 6 fingers in their assholes. Americans commit when they do that. You know what I mean? Like they don't go half-assed.
Great. Unrelated to that statement, I want to ask
Yes.
a different question entirely. Why did Mike kill a man with a brick instead of a gun?
But
A man runs by Mike, and he's holding
Matt,
an automatic
We have-
machine gun.
we had to remember he's a construction guy.
True.
He had 2 weeks of training.
No.
Oh, my fucking bad.
Thank you.
We put 2 weeks of training into you. God damn it. Pick up the gun and pull the trigger.
I think when push came to shove, he just went back to being. That's why they want blue collar workers, because they revert.
Unorthodox.
They revert back.
reaction.
No, it's not that. They revert back to their true selves, which is arguably more violent than an agent.
True. He did throw a brick so hard it killed a man.
Kill the man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
A
if we
regular
wanna be
person
technical-
couldn't do that,
True.
right?
No, 100%.
No.
Wouldn't even know which kind of brick to pick, where to
The
hit a
speed,
person.
the angle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He Crocodile Dundee that fucking
He
like
did.
that was
Yeah.
spot on in
With
the
a
head. Yeah.
hint of Steve Irwin in that recoil. Like
No.
hit the guy
What?
and he went yes, and then he went through the plastic and fell into the empty pool. Like that was calculated. That was partially premeditated. Like Mike surveyed the area, took the shot, cocked that back. It's like
Chris-
Steve Irwin.
Yeah, he was like the guy passed by. He looked at his gun. He looked at the brick. He looked at the gun. Not the brick. Just fucking
Are we thinking-
Hail Married
So-
it.
Just out of curiosity, are we thinking of a different Steve Irwin? Because I'm wondering the connection there. Like, are you to imply that the stingray that killed Steve Irwin
Yeah.
actually just hit him with a brick instead?
No. So let me tell you what happened, Matt. I'll tell you what happened. I
I
was
could
making
use
a,
this tail.
I was making a reference to the iconic cult movie Crocodile Dundee. And
Oh, that.
Chris just grabbed the first Australian thing he found and made the free association there.
Do you see? Do you see?
Listen,
Do you see?
That was
This is-
all
you use-
that happened.
You use
Okay.
what is around you and you improvise.
this is a
just
yes.
I'm just giving you a glimpse behind the scenes of what goes on, in
This
this
is a-
podcast.
You're right. This is a yes and space, and we support all the yeses. I just want to be clear here that there's probably another movie, or maybe this is a cross section, because
That's better?
well, Mike McKenna is clearly Sherlock Holmes from the Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes movies.
Oh no.
Oh.
You know, where he
That's
breaks
fair.
down his like attacks and is like,
Yes.
Mike's like, no,
Yes.
shoot the gun at a 35-degree angle, won't kill him, just incapacitate him. Brick at a 45-degree angle, hitting him on the left side of his skull, right above his neck, dead, and we get the phone. And it's all slow motion, and then fast motion throws it. Kill.
Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin.
Yeah.
It's a latent savant ability.
I now
like,
have
almost
in my
precogging.
head like a crossover scene where Mike throws the stingray at the guy and kills him.
That's Steve Irwin.
Yes. Mike is
Don't you
responsible for the death of the crocodile hunter. Yes.
I mean, this is a good point you bring up because, Netflix is really loving the clear success this movie has obviously been. And it's time to build the Union verse
Oh,
to
no.
compete with
Ooh,
Marvel.
shit. Let's do this.
And the
Wow, no,
easiest-
wait. To compete with
It's
the
the money.
Venom verse, if we're talking,
You're
let's
right.
be honest here.
Whoever. Both. Start with the Venomverse, take down Marvel.
Right.
You got to start from the bottom.
Right.
And then-
So in this, I think the first way to do this, quick wins, right? You're not going to get another film right away.
Right.
But what about webisodes?
Or another
Those
film.
are still a thing in 2024, I'm sure. And so we could do one about Mike and Steve Irwin, but I think the more important thing to cover right now is the story, the powerboat that is coming to get Faraday at the end of the movie.
Correct.
What we need to tease that out because we really need to see from the powerboat side what happened, right? Can you kind of walk me through those webisodes and from the
How many
powerboat's point
episodes
of
are we
view?
talking about here? 6, 8? How many?
I mean, it's
Like
usually
a
a
five,
good.
five
It's like
minute
5 minutes.
runtime? Yeah.
5 minutes, 8 episodes kind of deal. I think,
Animated, obviously, right?
right? Obviously animated. We don't have the budget for actors.
We're just gonna do the voices ourselves, apparently.
Yeah, that's fine. We don't. No one knows who's on the powerboat. That's up to you. You tell me what voices we need.
Okay. I think we have to. The first thing we have to establish is who was driving that powerboat.
Yes.
I think it's safe to say it was Steve Irwin.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay. The goat.
Mm.
Okay.
The crocodile hunter faked his death. Okay. So he faked his death, obviously. He didn't die. He wouldn't die with a stingray attack. Come on. He was because everybody knows that crocodile hunting is a blue collar job, so he was part of the union actually. He was betraying the union together with Mike. Not Mike. Fuck! The actor is Mike. His name is Faraday.
Mm-hmm.
This is hard. Nick. I'm just gonna call him Nick. And he was on that powerboat. He was gonna make a surprise appearance. The actual Steve Irwin was gonna make a surprise appearance in the movie. It was gonna be the way that we were gonna find out he wasn't dead.
I'm sorry. So you're telling me that
It's a fourth wall thing.
the
Yeah.
real Steve Irwin,
Was part of the real union.
it's like Tupac. He's still alive somewhere on an island.
Yeah, of course.
He bumped the table.
Oh
Tupac.
shit!
Yeah.
It was
Tupac.
okay. So it was Steve Irwin, Tupac, and Elvis on that. No, I'm kidding.
Jesus.
Oh,
Okay.
I need money.
And yeah, he was driving. So this is like the end of the webisodes, right? Because we end as we always have to. We end right at that scene.
Right.
That's where the webisodes end. And I'll let the other creatives here take over. But we end with him giving up on showing his face because he's like, oh, Nick is dead. Why would I show my face? Why would I
Right.
tip my hand? I'm just going to walk away and find another list of all the possible agents that ever existed in the world to steal. That's what he's going to do. So that's how it
Okay.
ends. Now can take it back from there.
So the next episode.
Yeah, so this
The
one
next one
is
is not
like
from you?
showing how things are going to tie up. Next episode is
Great.
all you. Go for it.
So the next episode picks up in Vienna, where we meet one Ludwig Dieter, who's on his hero's quest and looking for a challenge. Like he's cracking safes. If y'all remember Ludwig from Army of the Dead and Army of Thieves lore, Snyder lore. He's
I absolutely
in
do
Vienna.
not.
Yeah.
You don't? That's okay. Great. As I was saying, he's a master safe cracker, right? And so he's in Vienna, and he's trying to remain incognito because after a number of YouTube videos that no one is watching of him extolling the virtues of how to crack safes and why this safe is the holy grail, he embarks on a self-imposed quest, and he crosses paths with one Nick Faraday and Juliet, who are hatching a plan to heist a grand sum of money based on a very valuable item that they're looking to possess. But in order to identify the location of said item, which they want to remain, they want to remain undisclosed until they can secure their appropriate team, they need to get information. And that information is locked in one particular undisclosed site, which is later revealed in this episode is in a bank in Vienna. So they need a safe cracker. Who is the best safe cracker that is so unknown that they can recruit?
Napoleon
One
Solo.
Ludwig Dieter. Yes. Napoleon Solo, who gave birth to Ludwig.
He
Ludwig.
gave
birth.
Okay,
he gave
I
birth.
see.
Because this is the Schwarzenegger protocol, right? Where Solo,
I see.
wanted to feel what life was like inside of him, and he gave birth to Dieter.
Chris,
see.
these episodes are 5 minutes.
I was going to say,
How
this
many
was like 3
episodes?
episodes
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least.
Okay,
Yeah.
I just want to get the arc. So we've done 4 episodes. Matt, can you clear up the other 4 episodes for us, just so we can cap this off?
No.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
That's sudden move!
I had something there, but now I'm just thinking of a pregnant Jim
Napoleon.
Solo, like Henry Cavill. And I mean, I'm lost. And I just
You're welcome.
That is fair.
like
Steve
Jeff
Irwin.
Healy, like the great Jeff Healy. I can't see
You
it.
didn't see that?
Oh,
I
Nice.
just can't. I can't see it. I can't
You
see
didn't
it.
see-
I'm going to say that most of this, in the end, I'll just skip to the end of what it could be. I think in the end, he really it was all a dream,
Yeah, nice.
and he pulls away, and
That's exactly.
You realize that he was just late because his computer was buffering, so he just couldn't quite get it to work. And that's a real problem, by the way. It happens a lot in this movie as well.
It does.
So,
This is an interesting segue you set up for me because we don't need to know about the guy on the boat. I think we need to focus on our friends at the Union. But when they were trying to track the auctioneer, they had some buffering issues. What was going on that caused those buffering issues? And why was it porn?
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we know why, but who? I think who is the question.
Who or what
Who
or
and
how
what?
long? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the CIA director, first and foremost. Like he's so inept at his so incompetent when it comes to his job that all he does when he's at the office is fire up a private browser window, thinking that it's gonna be okay.
Do you think he? I don't think he uses
I don't even
incognito.
think it's private.
Incognito.
He doesn't use incognito for this at all. You know why? Because he's
Why?
lazy and he wants to type PO and have it complete Pornhub
That's
for
true.
him.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
And
I
then
think.
and he likes to do, since he has two screens, one is porn and the other one is OnlyFans, but there are receipts because of all the transactions that he procures. So he's hoping
I see.
that if he blows this auction price tag through the roof and beyond into the stratosphere, that it will dwarf
Oh,
his porn
no,
activity.
I think it was a combination of something that's slightly different.
Oh,
I think for one, he's dumb, so he thought he was using his data plan, but he was on the base Wi-Fi, so that's he didn't expect it. But also, I think he was worried about the money, and he was like, "Fuck, I need to do some stuff on my OnlyFans account, so I can raise some money in case this auction goes bad." So he was using porn as an inspiration as to what he was going to do for his fans that he could sell and make up some money to
for his account
exactly
as a creator.
of course that's what he was.
So foot photos and content.
No, not foot photos. His OnlyFans was all about butthole.
I see.
He bleaches his, and so it's a whole niche thing.
And his fingers.
And his fingers.
He
Yeah.
bleaches his fingers. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm here for it. That's fine.
I think he does do all this incognito, though. I think he's smart enough to go incognito.
I don't think he's
But
smart enough for that.
Incognito for him is he just puts on some dark glasses and a mustache and then goes.
Oh, instead of opening the browser,
Yeah.
he just disguises himself as the
he
incognito.
puts on a
I
a little mustache.
I can totally see that. He goes, I'm
Yeah.
incognito, therefore nobody can see what I'm doing.
tell.
and in full view of everybody,
Oh, yeah.
right when they're all standing right
He's
there.
like,
he just
look at
Glass
this.
windows.
Look at these
in the
idiots.
office.
I'm in disguise. When they look at the
Yeah.
browser history, it's going to be someone else's browser history.
Yeah,
they don't know who I am.
Also, his OnlyFans is just CIA, director Bobby Breslin.
Yeah, his name is Bobby Breslin.
Yeah.
69.
No, not 69. It's Bobby Breslin and his social security number. That's his.
CIA director Bobby Breslin, social security number.
Yes.
Like, this is very
69.
unique. No one else has this username.
His philosophy is no one will believe it's him, and no
Yeah,
one will
correct.
look and try. No, I think this all
so
makes sense.
out-
Security by audacity.
I like
is what he does.
at the end of his social insurance number or social security number, he puts he spells out
SSN.
69,
His SSN.
but with no vowels because he's trying to be clever. So,
And no, he replaces the I with the one. That's all right.
Yeah.
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 So great. So we found out the cause of the buffering.
Right.
We
That's a
elaborated
lot
on
of
it a lot.
traffic.
That's
He's
okay.
a star.
That's
I
okay.
think it makes perfect sense. More than the rest of the movie.
I mean, probably. Last question.
Okay.
Safe houses. The union.
Hey?
What are they? How do they work?
Well, I mean, maybe the union might ask that because they get infiltrated. They blow up
Right.
their little tower thing, and then Roxy and Mike run off to a safe house. And I'm just curious because to me, it appears like that safe house is probably no longer safe.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just
Compromise is the word?
compromise. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But maybe maybe the union, I'm just curious, how does the union ensure safe houses? Because maybe they have a different way, in which case it would make it safe.
So I think it's the same philosophy that they have for planting gadgets and tools for their agents. So the more visible and the more accessible and known, the better. So basically, what that like he says, this is not really a safe house; it's more like a safe room, right? So
Right.
that is probably in some just random hotel where they have the words "safe house" on top of the door, so that the agents know where to go.
Right.
Right. So I think that's important. Big wall-to-wall windows must have for a safe
So you can
house.
see them coming. That's smart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can see the enemies coming, right?
Yeah.
No covered spots, no like surveillance protection, none of that. Because what if you need to find
a
your
room.
agents that are hiding, right?
Right. Yeah.
So basically what I'm saying here is that whatever makes for a good Airbnb place,
Right.
that's what a safe house is for them.
Do you suppose that there's a lot of high visibility marking so they can get there from like the streets?
From anywhere. From so wherever there is like a gun in a statue, there's like a fluorescent paint
Right.
guiding you to the
Yeah.
safe house. Because
And
otherwise, how are you going to find it?
For less.
Yeah, and it says
Right.
Union Safe House.
Union Safe House,
Follow.
This way.
follow arrow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
But
dotted, by the way.
so what they do,
Solid.
so here's how smart they are. So they're in Britain, but they're American. So they write it in American so that the
Right.
Brits can't read it.
And they're going the American way down streets, not the Brit way. So Brits will be confused.
So
They
if
won't
the
follow
Brits
it.
try to do it, they
Yeah.
get run over by cars.
Yeah, that's genius. Honestly, no wonder they're safe.
Yeah, completely, 100%.
I think given all that we've like just the level of competence and the depth of thought that we've seen from the agents and the leadership, I
Yep.
think that this is the only. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense. Just make
Well,
sure
listen.
that the houses are well marked, available, known to everybody.
I think that makes
like
sense.
an Airbnb,
Yeah.
or a Verbo or what have you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. In times where there's not a lot of missions, they have an agent sitting in front of the house and say, "Oh, if you're looking for a safe house, this is
Yeah, you can actually just
Would
rent
you like to?
the safe house on
Right.
Airbnb.
exactly."
This is how we
It's
crowdsource
it's
and
marketed
generate
on
revenue.
Airbnb as Union
Safe
Safe House, not in
Yeah.
use now. Get it
Would you
while
like to
yeah.
live and sleep like a union agent for a weekend? Come.
The only
Well, I
caveat is you're gonna have to do some blue collar job while you're staying there.
Yes.
Well, I think
Clean our toilets.
Yeah, I bet even like Faraday probably just called them and said, "Hey, I heard that your place was blown up. I've been staying at this safe house
Yeah.
just a block down the street. Just come on down. I left the keys in the door,
No,
yes.
but Rock,
You know.
because she's smart, she went.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to that one because he's in that one. I'm gonna go to the one next door.
yeah,
This all makes sense. I actually think it's a great recruitment tool, like you said. You can come, stay at the Union Safe House, check out the Union, see what it's all about, see if you want to join up. If not, fine, go home,
Find
tell
some
your
hidden,
friends.
find some hidden guns,
Yeah,
hidden
whatever.
gadgets.
It's all good. There's nothing.
And it's
There's nothing
reputable.
secret here.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
reputable
telling
and
you,
supported by
it's
Airbnb, so
it's
it's
security-
readily available and accessible. to
It's
people.
security and safety by Audacity.
Right.
So they do it.
Oh.
The podcast editing software.
Yes, that Audacity.
Also sponsored.
We're going to segue off of that to the end of this podcast. Let's review this movie. If you want to, you could give it an S. That is the highest tier of our rating system. If you didn't think it was quite an S, there are many letters cascading all the way down to F. It may stand for fail, but it's up to you. That's your choice. We're all going to give our rating and a slight justification that might be related to the 6 plot holes, might not be. I don't want to speak for everybody. But let's start with other Matt.
I want to say that it was a good use of my time, but I just feel like I didn't learn very much about the blue collar lifestyle, which I think was a loss.
Right.
Right.
Because I really think they wanted to teach me something about how a union functions. they didn't. I think they wanted to teach me about how espionage and they didn't. I feel like they really wanted to teach me about what a good movie is, and they didn't. So I want to give it an F.
What are you saying here, Matt?
Blasphemy.
I want to say that this was a thing I saw, and very much like the great Jeff Healey, I wish I could unsee it. Or not see it. Or never see it.
I was going to say, I don't think Jeff Healey could unsee anything, but...
You want to be Jeff Healey. You wish you were Jeff Healey for 2 hours.
Jeff Healey. Yes. But I feel like even Jeff Healey would hear it and just be offended ear-wise. I think it would offend the ears.
Probably.
Well.
I think that's fair.
So I want to give it an F. I did not enjoy this movie at all.
Just to be clear, you say you want to give it an F. You're in control.
Yeah. You're allowed to have your own.
You are going to give it an F?
Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and give it an F. I mean, let's just put it this way. At the end of this film, I had to watch Planet of the Apes to cleanse the palate. And I don't mean the good Planet of the Apes that had Gary Oldman in it.
Which one?
Charlton?
Yes, I went right back to see a time when Mark Wahlberg was at his greatest.
Was in a decent movie.
And to just cleanse the palate a little,
right,
you know, and then, you know, just never ever watch a movie again. I've been ruined. I just want to point out.
Great.
Wow.
Well, thanks for the last episode of the podcast with us. We really appreciate it. Chris,
end it all after this.
How scarred are you?
Pretty scarred. Enough of the dilly-dallying. My rating is E. Because the only enjoyable aspect of this movie were the callback photos of when Mark Wahlberg and Halle Berry actually met and took photos with each other. I appreciate that, even though it was supposed to be in context of their teenage love and stuff like that. That was cute, and I appreciated that. That is all. That's the only reason you should fast forward through this movie at maybe 2.5 speed.
So what you're saying is the best part of this movie is the credits.
Yeah, the photos in the credits.
Okay. Strong, high praise. We're going to put that on the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Credits were awesome.
They were. Like, worth the admission, the price of admission.
It ended.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did. It really did. And I don't always get to say that. And honestly, I want to see them make another movie so we can come back and do something like this again.
Don't worry.
I want them to give this is content.
No,
for
it's
fine. I
fine.
want them to do it.
Chris,
there's such a thing as too much content.
Chris,
the Faraday box.
Chris, they made it. It's called Borderlands. We'll get to it when it comes to streaming. Don't worry.
Yeah. Oh boy.
It's on the way.
Let us cook.
In the meantime, Luciano, please give us your rating.
So I'm gonna give our listeners, all one of them, a little bit of a glimpse as to like how we do this. So we were talking about this movie obviously before we started the show to kind of get our, align our thoughts and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I came in with like thinking of like, no, this is an E, but then every time one of you guys said, what about this? And what about that? And like 3 and 4 other things where I was like, fuck, that's right. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And as we discussed it here, as we went through this episode, my rating tanked. So I am also going to give it an F because this movie fails in almost like, I was like, this is not as bad as Madame Web. This is not as bad as Morbius, but it's close enough. It's close enough that it deserves, and it wanted to be this like, oh, look, it's such a funny and interesting. No, it's not funny. It's not interesting. It's just shit. The acting, even with great actors, was horrendous. Like one of the first things bothered me was like J.K. Simmons being extra J.K. Simmons-y and going like, I am a blue-collar worker. And like, bro, what? No, what are you doing? So yeah,
I like that.
I wish I could have my 2 hours back. I wish I didn't know that Marky Mark couldn't even do his own fucking accent. I wish I didn't know that Halle Berry could act so badly and unemotionally, like she was having some sort of constipation issue the whole movie instead of emoting. Yeah, I hate it, and yeah, that's it. The only good thing about this movie was being able to talk about it with you guys. That's it.
Yay!
Good job.
Kind of sweet, actually.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm gonna shit on that
heartwarming.
real quick. Just,
I
it's fine.
hated talking about it with you guys.
No, it's
Fuck
fine
you.
talking about it. No, I just want to give my rating for this. It's an F. It's really simple. I think Matt already covered it. Just go watch Mission Impossible 1. It does everything this movie tries to do way better. And it's made like fucking, what, 20, 30 years ago?
20 years ago, yeah.
20 years ago?
2001, right? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Disrespect.
So much better.
And
Do it.
the other thing I would add to the point that this is an F, we sometimes here like to look at Rotten Tomatoes and see what the public thinks and what the critics think.
Right.
And almost invariably, the critics shit on a movie and the public's like, nah, it wasn't that bad because of X, Y, Z. Well, not for the union, my friends.
Yeah, we find some stinkers sometimes.
The critics have more respect for the union than the public
Yeah,
does.
I was surprised too. It's like 29%.
Currently it is 36% for the critics and 26% for
Oh, 26.
Oh boy.
As a reminder, I think Madam Web was 11%.
I mean,
I want to say, and like Morbius was 9%.
Let's take a little look see here. 11%,
Morbin.
11% for the critics and 57% for the audience on Madam Web.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Why would I? How could I make that up?
Oh my god!
That's-
This is why the whole
bold.
idea, that popular opinions are worth anything. That if you need any more proof that that's bullshit, just look at that.
I have other proof. Morbius 15% critics, 71%
Fuck
audience.
off. This is ironic. It has to be.
Whatever.
Okay. No, hold on. Morbius, at least, I laughed a lot.
That's
At
fair.
its expense. But
Yeah.
it was so bad it was entertaining.
Yeah.
Like that dance scene
Yes.
with
100%.
with Matt Smith. Oh, I cannot get that out of my head.
Anyways, so that's why this movie is an F, because no one likes it, not even the
Fair enough.
audience. There's no irony, there's no nothing. It's just bad. But good news, ladies and gentlemen,
Welcome.
we're gonna shift gears. We're gonna go and ruin your childhood. Probably.
It's coming.
We're gonna watch. I'm not gonna say the J.K. Rowling vehicle because no one will like that.
Yeah, if you say it like that,
Rupert
I'm not gonna watch it.
Grint? The Rupert Grint vehicle?
Sure, the Rupert Grint vehicle.
Robert Pattinson vehicle.
He's not in this movie, my friend.
Oh, that's fine. That's true. Fuck.
Cedric Diggory. My boy!
Hey, man, we'll get there. We're watching Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, if you're nasty. As a tribute
If you're
to
from the Union, it's Sorcerer's
if you're
Stone.
from the Union, if as a tribute to going back to school.
Yeah.
So please join us
Ooh.
next week when we watch a movie that can't possibly be as bad as this one.
No.
The
Even
Dionne Warwick vehicle.
Dionne Warwick was in Harry Potter?
Yeah, he's one of the Gringotts guys. You know, the Jewish people. I'm
Dionne
sorry, I shouldn't-
Warwick?
oh no, I
No,
have not.
Warwick Davis.
I have not given you
Dionne
permission,
Warwick.
sir.
Holy
You
shit.
are the greatest of all time. Yes, come and join us for the Dionne Warwick Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Walk on by.